Yo, what's going on, people? Ah, had to welcome y'all to another DC TV talk. Today's episode, we will be covering. Well, I'll be doing a recap of DC Legends of Tomorrow, episode 5, Flash, episode 5, and Supergirl, episode 5. And toward the end of this episode, I'll just be, since today's Wednesday, I'm going to pick up some comics this morning, and I'll go over some of those. People have been asking me, like, what comics am I reading right now? I don't think it's necessarily what I'm reading, it's more or less what I'm picking up, because I usually wait to read a lot of these things. But anyway, I think like I said, like I usually do, I go over the episode in the order of which I watched. And this episode of the first episode I watched was of Supergirl. Um, this episode was actually directed by Kevin Smith, and if you know, I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan, and there's a certain style to some of his movies. There's a certain style to some of his movies that I like more than others. And for one, it's the dialogue and the back and forth between characters, and I think that was on perfect display this episode, mainly between Maggie and was it, hold on, because the back and forth with Lena Luthor was good between her and Supergirl. Well, actually, Kara, that was really good. The fact that she pretty much believes, like, yo, this is my fault. Like, there's no other way to explain it. Like, this happened because of me. Supergirl wouldn't have did this if it wasn't for me. And now she getting a backlash of like all this lead being in the air. And the crazy thing is, like, I think somebody even said that once before. I don't know who exactly it was, but like all that lead in the air, will it have an effect on actual humans? In my mind, I was thinking like it should have some kind of effect. In this episode, it seemed like it did, because when they was running the test results, it seemed like, hey, maybe it's like a 10% chance that is what's causing these kids to get sick. And I like how they tied the way to all the kids. And then you pretty much, what I don't think a lot of people understood was like, because you're in such what it showed so good to me this episode was that you, when it's your child, you instantly snap and you don't think about the reason something was done. And you only just think about like, yo, my child sick. Forget. I don't care why you had to do that. All the while, if they wouldn't have done that, your child could have been killed or taken over by, been enslaved by aliens. Like, but in the moment, you don't think logical like that. You don't think like, oh man, this happened for a reason. This was to save us. No, you don't think like that. You just honestly think because it's your child. Uh, this is what it has to be. And also, like I said, some more back and forth that I really enjoyed was the stuff between Maggie and Alex, because the fact that it really got to a point where Maggie was like, yo, I mean, Alex was like, yo, I can't do this. We have to talk about this like seriously. And it got to the point where she just like, I want a kid. I'm gonna forever want a kid. Maggie's just, and you can see it's not like oh, you want a kid. I don't want one. Well, I'm just gone. And Maggie was just like, yo, I understand you want a kid, but I just want you. And like the back and forth, the shots and the facial expression that both characters were given was like spot on. Like some great stuff. There was a lot of stuff happening here, but I think mainly the point that I liked the most was just simply the character interaction between each other, because so many people in this had like simple back and forth in this episode. But like I said, like Kevin Smith does is that he does back and forth real good. If you want to see like some of his best back and forth, I would recommend Clerks 2. And from my favorite really is Chase's name. It's like the back and forth between Ben Affleck and can't think of her name at the moment. But that's what you saw, and like the fact that Maggie was pretty much at the point where like, yo, well, you just gonna have to say it. And she didn't, and you understood exactly what she meant. Alex just breaks her out to say, we can't be together. And this is them calling off a marriage. The fact that, and the shot at the end though was so strong, was with Maggie getting her stuff and leaving, and Alex walking up to the door, and she basically just realizing like, yo, I just let the love of my life, the person who helped me to be me, to come out as being a lesbian, and that person, I just let go. The person who introduced me to everything, the person who made me feel comfortable with myself, I just let them go. And then the camera pans down to their engagement rings. Like, that was everything, dog. Of course, you have some more stuff with the guy who's pretty much set Lena Luthor up, and like, it's good. Also, there was a scene. We had two things. The fact that Ruby's mom, I cannot think of her damn name for the life of me. Uh, she deflected a bullet, and that's the bullet that actually hit James Olsen. The stuff between James Olsen and what's name was and Lena was good. But another one that really gets you is I always want to call him the Colonel because I know him from Agents of Shield. Is that guy who's the guy who was over Acre Chemicals. Him and Supergirl's interaction at the end, where he said, "You know what? If you're an enemy of mine, I'll crush you now." But if I no, he said basically, if I was your enemy, the best thing for you to do right now is to kill me. Like but you can't, you wouldn't do, like, he is in her face and just letting her know, like, you won't do shit to me. You know, like, he basically tell her, like, you know I did this, but you can't do shit. And that was fucking great. I'm telling you, like, I guess I'm kind of biased. There were certain parts of this episode I was kind of like, whoa, because the fact that the car and what's name did a lot of breaking and entering, and nobody seemed like that seems to be wrong by any means. I was kind of like, okay, so it's cool to break in and stuff if you're a superhero. Don't get me wrong, Batman does it all the time, but it's just like, okay. But I was just the back and forth from characters were really, really cinched in for me, and me being a fan of like Supergirl and these actors, because I guess it really get to show out their legitimate acting. Like with Maggie and Alex, you get to see like the emotion emitted on their face, and with Supergirl and the Colonel, I'm gonna have to call him the Colonel for now. The strength the dominance he shows, while her ability to not back down, but knowing she can't do anything, it was a great episode for me. I just like the back and forth more than anything in this episode. I guess I like the strength that she displayed at the end, where she's holding both sides of the plane, and she's like, I can't hold both. Like, Lena, you have to, like, it's kind of like a character moment for Lena. Lena basically tell her, like, no, just drop me. She's like, no, just climb. It's damn, it was a really good episode. I enjoyed the hell out of Supergirl. I really think they're doing some really good stuff with Supergirl this season, and it's like a slow build because I'm pretty sure you're gonna get the evolution of Ruby's mother as Rain pretty soon, and we got to see what exactly turns her. Okay, because I'm pretty sure she's gonna be a bad guy, but what exactly turns her towards the end, or not? Who knows? But then let's go to DC Legends of Tomorrow. This episode kind of like, it was weird. Also, Mick is fantastic every time. Mick Roy is always fantastic. You have them trying to separate Firestorm and them keeping behind Stein's back. And I knew it was going to come back to hunt them towards the end like it did. But the main thing I was looking at was the fact that while it was Rip in 1895 by himself, I'm thinking it's Jack the Rip off them, because I seen how he walked, but then he shows up and you see like, oh, it's a vampire. I'm like, okay, we have a vampire. I was really excited to see a vampire and Mick fight a vampire. I was really excited to see that. Unfortunately, that didn't happen because like it was like, oh, I have a double lead. I'm like, really, bro? Really? I was like, really? I said disappointed. I'm disappointed. I wanted it to be a vampire. Mick fighting a vampire is gonna be fun because he's been reading the Dracula. They getting shot at stuff by stuff. They about to blow up. He like, you gotta be quiet. I got one more page, and he read like 2 pages and just like that. I didn't know his reading was at a fucking genius level, a flash level read. But anyway, you have stuff going on with Rip, and he's pretty much like he's he's not with the Time Bureau. He's out doing this on his own because there's a guy who pretty much going through time. I guess resurrecting people, allowing people. I think this is where we get the Water Girl. We get Timothy Dark back this episode. It didn't really care, and the stuff with him kind of seemed corny. If I'm being honest, the stuff with him this episode kind of seemed corny. He was just like, he was saying like, "Where's my watch?" But I did love the fact that they used Return on the back in this. Return every time they used it, I was loving it. I didn't care what moment in time it was. I was loving that, and this episode just kind of made me wonder because for one, when Zara was getting like talking to the dead, my whole thing was the fact that Rip was brought back to life once they went back in time to a time where Rip wasn't killed. Then this episode, because we deal in time travel, you have to really look at these things. And for me, I'm a person who I'm so used to watching Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z that where time travel is. And I watched a lot of stuff with time travel in it, so I just have a different theory. But the fact that, like I said, last episode, they went back in time to a time where what's his name was still alive, and he came, he was brought back. In this episode, where, like I said, when Zara was, was talking to her brother who's dead, I was thinking like, yo, he didn't die till like 20-something, like 2041 or something like that. So how can she be talking to somebody who wasn't even born right now? That's why I was like, yeah, that didn't make sense. There was some funny moments in this episode, which I think you always gonna get out of Legends of Tomorrow. We finally found out who the big bad is, Marlis. I'm not familiar with them, to be honest. I'm hoping to see them. Them do something. I think it's a dude. I actually thought it was a woman the first time I saw it, because I think that person who had got the girl out of the water was a woman. So maybe, I don't know. Yeah, it was a cool episode. Not one of the better episodes to me, because a lot of stuff really seemed to confuse me, and I was like, wait. Timothy Dark, I didn't even remember the guy died, to be honest. I'm like, how does he end up killing Laura then? Like, I'm so confused. I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to mark this one off and just try again next week. Because last week, I really loved last week's episode, but this one wasn't really my taste. Like I said, it was a couple of things. You like the continuing story with Stein and what's his name, trying to separate Firestorm. And I think they're going to end up doing that, because I know he's pretty much the guy who plays Stein, pretty much walking away pretty soon. So I don't know how much longer he has before he goes. So, but you know they're going to end up doing that anyway. We also get, well, let's jump on over to the Flash episode 5. This episode was it was female based, pretty much. A long-headed man takes Flash and out for his bachelor party. First we had Cisco, who wanted to sit in the house and watch like videos. Sorry, I would have wanted to get the fuck out of there. I'm not just sitting in the house watching videos. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. Anyway, so they go out to like a little strip club, and where they see Joe's fiance. I think it's his fiance, girlfriend. I don't know. Her daughter's in there. And she said she's doing some little experiment. Don't believe everything she says. She is not doing an experiment. That is what she does on the regular. I don't want to hear about that book. Maybe she is. But mainly this episode focused around Killer Frost, Iris, and Felicity. And first of all, let me tell y'all something. In the episode, they got Iris and Felicity in it. Let me tell you something. My eyes are glued. I don't think I blinked this whole episode. All right? Iris and Felicity. Okay? I don't think y'all understand how much love I have for those two women. And listen, what's her name? Killer Frost. When she had put on that little black pants and that little blue jacket. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I damn near went into the TV. I damn near used my metahuman powers to go into the TV, alright? This shit got real, okay? But anyway, I thought this was a good episode because it showed how strong they were and how they didn't need the guys all the way. But one thing that really bothered me about this episode, that really, really bothered me, and I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Just what? Why? Was when they let Armonite, I think her name Armonite Black, they let her go. You just took the metal from her, the stuff from her, but you just let her go. I understand Killer Frost didn't have to kill her, but damn it, freeze her to where she can't move until the police get there. And then just unthaw or some shit. Like, why let her go and continue to do stuff? Listen, she literally tortured a guy. like what's her name? I think, I can't think of her damn name. Joe's girlfriend. She asked, like, yo, have you killed anybody? She's like, nah, I cut off a couple fingers, toes. Nobody lost their life, though. But I'm just thinking to myself, okay, cool. We know this. She actually killed 2 cops. Matter of fact, she killed 2 cops in this episode. Why let her go? I'm like, she's like, oh, I'm gonna get you later. No, you're not. Because I'm gonna stop you right here and right now. And also, this brought up some attention to something that I don't think I ever really noticed. Is the fact that even though we have had 4 seasons of The Flash, Iris and Kaylin have never really just been close. They've been around each other simply based off their friends, but them two have never just grown to like build this like friendship bond between one another. And I feel like those two are more separated than anybody else in the group. I feel like Iris is closer to Cisco. I feel like they're the most separated 2 characters. And I feel like this episode just pretty much addressed it. It didn't make it seem like, oh, well, we've been best friends all our life. No, it actually addressed like, we haven't been the best of friends. Like, it's not like, me and you was like buddy. And it was, and I was just like, oh, shit, maybe you're right. But I feel like this episode was like it did the build up we need, well, the bonding that we need between those two. And I'm like I said, Felicity's fine. So, okay, it doesn't even matter. Okay, Felicity's gorgeous. So it's her being there is just a bonus. I feel that, but I honestly feel like Felicity and Iris were closer than Kaylin and Iris were. Like, so this actually like helped build a little bond between those two. The guy with the weird eye, he has like a snake that comes out of his eye. I thought it was like a Demogorgon head or something comes out of his eye. I don't know why he has that. It was weird. That's the weirdest power. I don't know if I would want that power because it's kind of creepy. I didn't really like his power. Okay, I didn't really like his power. And the other girl Alamite girl, Black, whatever her damn name is. I wonder can like she use her power to do more than just one hand? Because I was thinking like maybe it attracts and repels. One hand attracts, other repels. But then when she threw one off, I'm just like, maybe not. Maybe she just has enough for one hand. She actually carries it around with her. I don't think it's necessarily metal. I think it's like some other kind of substance. I don't know. I enjoyed the episode though. So if I was just scared of them so far, I would go Supergirl, Flash, then DC Legends of Tomorrow. I'm sorry, that episode confused the fuck out of me. So yeah. Let's get to, since it's Wednesday, let's get to the comics I got this week and that I will eventually get to read one in my life. I got this Deadpool Kills Cable, Marvel Legacy issue 289, Despicable Deadpool Kills Cable. This is like issue 2, part 2 of that. Marvel Legacy 14, Jessica Jones, The Return of Purple Man. This is like the second part of this. I love Jessica Jones and her whole relationship. The parental advisor. So I haven't even opened the first one. So when I get to reading them, I'm pretty sure I'll be pretty happy. Marvel Legacy issue 595, Daredevil, Mayor Fisk part 1. Love me some Fisk, bro. And another DC Metal, Dark Knight's Metal tie-in, Batman Lost. Dark Knight's tie-in, issue 1. Hal Jordan and Green Lantern Corps, issue 30. I'm not getting paid for this either, people. I just talking about the comics I picked up today. Trust me, I don't get paid for any of these things. I'm just talking about stuff that I like, and maybe some of you guys might have picked some of these up as well. Let me get to the Let me get to the Flash, issue 33. Bats Out of Hell Part 1. I was been waiting for this to come in forever, and I finally just picked up together. It's another metal tie-in. Now I got Part 3. I already got Part 2 came out last week. I think Part 4 come out next week. And it's the Justice League, entire Justice League. So Hal Jordan, Green Lantern Corps, issue 32. Bats Out of Hell Part 3. And this one I'm really eager to read. It's just I know I'm not going to read it anytime soon, but I guess I'll just get to it eventually. And this is The Children, Wonder Woman, issue 34, Children of the Gods. At last, the brother of Wonder Woman. At last, Jason, the brother. Like, I don't know who the fuck this is, but whoa, I can't. I'm gonna get all those. Let's see. And one of my favorites. Squad Goals, Red Hood and all those, issues 16. I love Red Hood and all those. And it seems like they have, like, I think there's Harley Quinn shadow. And it says, like, hi, your dolls. Welcome to the fun house. Pretty sure I'm going to enjoy the fuck out that. And Trials of Two Cities, Part 1, Green Arrow, issue 33. And it seems like all it has a little thing as Oliver Queen trial begins. Don't know. I've read a few of all those, but like only one I have like from beginning to now. Cause listen, I can't afford a comic. I can't afford to buy comics every week. I just can't. Like being honest, I have all the medals since they began. I have all the Red Hood and the Outlaw, and I have all the Batman issues. Some of the other ones I kind of like jump from like certain parts I like. Some like the miniseries that they have. But yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about the shows for this week down in the comments below. Which one was your favorite? And yeah, hit that like button too. Make sure you hit that like button before you go. And I'll catch up with you guys later. Peace out, people.